We've seen the weakening of the peso, the weakening of the stock market. Is that a reflection that the market has no confidence in the incoming president, whoever that is?
Well, I think most investors are just playing it safe. Given they're just risk averse. No, anything can happen during election time. I think we are more concerned if it's orderly and honest, no, in a way. No? So I think that will make us more comfortable, not really on a personality basis.
Are fundamentals in place? Can the Philippines remain the darling among investors the way it was just about a year ago?
Well, we think so. No? Most of the foundations needed for a good economy in the coming years are there. However, if the new president can pursue this effectively and the reforms will continue, that's another question. But again, let me assure you, in business, we will definitely lobby that the new administration will really be more friendly, not only to business but also to the economy.
But whether or not the new administration listens to the business community, listens to the investment community, that's another story altogether. Correct. What are the biggest risks for the market at this point in time?
At this point in time, again, it's related to the election. Would be if it's honestly done and there's order, and then the true pulse of the people will be heard. No?
That's one. How much has the market? How much have investors factored in the rate situation in the U.S., for example?
That's the major consideration rather than the political consideration nowadays.
You talk that you're pretty optimistic. The fundamentals are in place. How high, how well can the Philippine market go? The stock exchange, the PCOM, for instance, where do you see it ending year-end?
Well, for year-end, we think that we could still touch hit the 7,500 level. Hopefully, no. Despite all the considerations outside the within the region and also in the United States. However, it's also critical that we look at the plans of the new administration. But given the political spending, definitely the GDP will be another story. Given the election-related spending, we think 1%, 2% will be added to the GDP. So I think investors will somewhat like that.
Which sectors should the new administration focus on? I know infrastructure for sure is
Definitely.
one. What other sectors?
Power and energy. Power and energy. I think that's the most really in urgent need. No? And third, we agree with most candidates that the peace and order situation needs to be in place, needs to be addressed immediately.
How confident are you that the next president can unite the people? This has been the most divisive election we've seen in the country.
True. It will be difficult considering that there are 5 political players, or meaning 5 presidentiables, who run during this election. It will be difficult, but again, we hope the present administration will also contribute to encourage the Filipinos to really unite immediately after elections, rather than be politicking again. So hopefully within the year, within the month, it will heal.
Put the Philippines in perspective for us in the region. In terms of FDI, for example, it's been lagging behind its neighbors, although it is at record levels. How do you think the Philippines can do better than its regional counterparts?
Yes, we need to address the basic problems again that we've been harping about from business. Number one, infrastructure, power and energy, of course, bureaucracy, and then corruption. I think eventually, if those are properly addressed, FDIs will immediately flow in.
Which candidate will the market cheer for?
Well, if we base it on surveys, the leading candidate will be the most appreciated by most. For business, it's really hard to say, but if you look at the surveys, the leading candidate has captured the A, B, C up to the letter E, social classes. So I think it's either Duterte and Poe will be favorable to the market.
All right.